Hey everyone, Eric here. Welcome to the channel. In this video, we're doing something a little bit different. This video is actually going to be an interview that I got to have with quite literally one of my guitar heroes from, a technique perspective, songwriting, and the sound of the guitar. That's Fred Mascherino from Breaking Pangea, Taking Back Sunday, and now The Color Fred. In the interview, we're going to talk about a bunch of different things, but we got hooked up because I sent Fred one of these, the Sky Bridge from Elm Effects, as a thank you because I got to be on kind of like a quarantine project that he did where he just kind of said, hey, whoever wants to be on this song project, send in tracks. So I sent in some tracks and he used it on a couple different mixes of that project. So I wanted to send him a thank you gift. I sent him a Sky Bridge, and to my surprise, he used this pedal, the Sky Bridge, on his new song. And before we get into the interview, I just want to say thank you for subscribing, and thank you to everyone who supports over on Patreon. I really appreciate it so much. I appreciate all the support, whether it's over on Patreon or just liking the videos here, subscribing, or just watching them. Thank you so much. Before we get into it, I also would love to know in the comments below, if you could talk to a musician, if you could sit down and interview them or, have a conversation, what musician would you choose to talk to? I'm actually going to split this interview up into a couple different videos because we did talk for quite a bit. This one's going to be more focused on YouTube. And then in a later video from this one, we're actually going to dive into more gear nerdy stuff and gear focused conversation. So let's go ahead and get into it. Also, really quick, we did chat over Zoom and there are some video glitches. The video slows down, but the audio is all good. So I just wanted to throw that out. Please forgive me for the video glitches and we'll try to get it a little bit more smooth next time. Here's my conversation with Fred Mascherino from The Color Fred. Well, Fred, thank you so much for being on the channel, dude. This is honestly a dream come true. I never thought I would ever get to talk to you. So thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I'm a fan of the channel and I liked everything you do. So I'm like, let's just talk, man. Talk, yeah. We both love guitar, so let's do it.
Guitars are so great. I wanted to have you on because you're about to, well, actually, let's start out with maybe if you want to just give a brief introduction for those viewers who aren't familiar with you, what you've done in the past and what you're doing right now.
Yeah, so my name is Fred Mascherino, and I currently play as The Color Fred. I have a band. It's sort of, The Color Fred started as a solo project, but now I have a set group of guys, and we've been recording together, and we record our own music, and I record it, our guitarist mixes it, our bass player makes video content and videos, and I have a YouTube channel, The Color Fred, where I have a series I called In the Shed with Fred, where I talk about recording and different guitar techniques, and I do playthroughs of songs from my past. I was played in my main band, and people know me from is Taking Back Sunday. Mm-hmm. Before that, I was in Breaking Pangea. And since that, I've been a touring guitarist for the band Say Anything, and I played bass in a 90s band called the Lemonheads, who were one of my favorites when I was in college. And so at this point, I do things that I think are awesome and fun, and I have this studio here. This is the shed, if you will. So that's what I do.
I think, when did you start the YouTube channel? It had to be a couple years ago, I think.
Not very long, in the last 2 years, and then I made a couple episodes about 2 years ago called In the Shed with Fred, and they were long, half-hour things, and then I don't know, that wound up leading to me getting a lot of invitations back into music. I actually wasn't playing music at the time. I was just working. I have 3 kids, and you know how that goes. And so, but I was invited to do a music conference in Colombia, the country, because of the In the Shed with Fred videos. And I went down and met all these music people and just knew at that time I need to get back to my people and get back to music. And since I left my job just a couple months before, COVID came, I just dove into it and have put out like 100 videos in the last year. A lot of those are live streams, about half of them, but I've also made at least a video a week of content. So I'm really into it at this point.
Yeah, dude, I was so excited to see you on YouTube because it's like, I mean, it's a different way for you, someone who has had all the experiences that you have and like all the knowledge that you have. It's a different way for you to interact with fans. And like you said, when you started, it was you like reflecting on some stuff, but then it grew into you sharing what you know about the recording and music writing process with everyone. And it's just awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah, YouTube, I mean, everyone has things that, you know, some people are good at Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, and you have to find the one that suits you. But for me, it was YouTube because I liked telling old stories about my travels, and you know, I can't limit that to 1 minute. And I also am not witty enough or funny enough for, say, Twitter. So you know, so every time something new came along, I was like trying to do something that wasn't right for me. Like, you know, I don't even know where to start with TikTok. But
I don't either. I'm in the same boat.
But YouTube, the whole community that I've been building on my channel has just been growing and been really comfortable for me, and that I found my people. So
the YouTube channel has been doing really well. Like, you just started a couple years ago, and you've already grown to like over, I think I checked, it was like 13,000 subscribers, which is amazing. And
thanks, man.
And so like what I wanted to hit on next is like, I think it's been in 2021, you have been releasing a song a month. And it's not just a song. I want to emphasize, it's not just a song, it's a song and a video, which is like so much work. And it's like every freaking month.
Yeah, it's been, thanks for noticing. Every month since January, we've released a new song, and we sort of get together and, like, all my YouTube videos on my channel I make those, but my bass player is really taken, his name's Keith Gibbons, and he took the reins on a lot of the video production of like the music videos. And those are some work because, you know, I'm dangerously close to my deadlines right now because this tomorrow, this week, Attention comes out, and then I already have Saturday packed up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I already have July packed up, but August, we are just getting started, and we need to mix these songs, which usually takes a week or two. Mm-hmm. And then we send them to get mastered, which usually takes 2 weeks. And we've already had to call the mastering person in the past, who's very busy, and say, hey man, is there any way you can bump us up and do it quick if we throw you some extra cash? And, you know, luckily we're doing this every month, so he helps us out. But yeah, it's hard getting, you know, I spend a couple of days a week just on my normal YouTube posts. And then in addition to that, we're trying to do these music videos. So that's like a whole Saturday of the band hanging out together, and maybe 2 days. Right I Left was 2 days our last month. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, because that had a lot of what I think was green screen, right?
Yeah, I was walking on a treadmill with the green screen behind me. And there was a day of that shooting because there was a whole setup, and then there was a day of me playing, you know, acoustic and doing the musical part of it.
Yeah, they've been great videos. One of my favorite ones was the NXS cover, where you did it all live. I think it was all tracked live in the room, right?
Tracked. It was 100% live, which was poorly thought out on my part because our drummer, we're all in separate cameras, but we were all next to each other, and our drummer was just coming into all the vocal mics and making it very hard to mix the audio.
I think you did great.
It looks good, and it came out. You know, you could tell it's live, so it sounds cool, and that was something, because we did that one because in the beginning of the year, some of the songs were mostly me playing the instruments, but In Excess started the new phase of my band actually recording, coming here and recording their parts and everything. Although some of the songs before that my drummer had played, but now I've got my bass player and guitarist. And another thing about our band is all the guys sing, and so we have that. And our drummer's wife is a vocal teacher, so you'll hear her. She's on the last song, Right I Left. You'll hear her there, and she's in the In Excess video.
Okay,
you saw that.
Nice. Yeah, she was playing.
She's sort of like an honorary member, getting there.
Nice. Yeah, I just remember, like, I watched it. It sounded great, and I was like, oh, this has like a feel to it. Like it feels like they're all in the same room. And then at the end, I think it was, you kind of like, you show a photo or something of like the whole room, and you're like, oh, they are in the same room.
Yes. Yeah, that was my basement. So yeah, that was I was happy we showed the whole setup at the end, because it looks, I'm glad you noticed that. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Like it didn't sound like live from a mic bleed or anything like that. It sounded really great.
No, yeah, it took some doing. It was very old school the way we mixed it. We couldn't use any of the modern day vocal effects and stuff, because it was just affecting the drums. And I actually, my guitarist is an amazing mixer, and he was just having the hardest time mixing it. And I looked at it as more, well, you got to look at it like a live sound person, not a studio person.
Yeah.
So then I was, I actually kind of mixed the vocals and sent them over to him, like, do it like this. And he's like, what magic are you working? And I'm like, it's old school, man. Like, I've been doing this for 30 years. So.
Awesome. So let's move on to the new song, Attention. Can you tell me a bit more about that? Like, what's it about?
So that song is the first song that I actually, we all wrote it together. So my bass player kind of came up with the first opening riff, and a lot, had a lot to do with the musical part of this song. And we pieced it together as a band in the room together, and then I did the vocals. And but we wanted to do a rocker, so it's much more upbeat than last month. It's probably the most upbeat we've had in a while. And there's an opportunity in the middle for a guitar solo. We had a bridge, and I'm a funny guy because I have a jazz degree in guitar, and I grew up in the 80s when everyone was, glam metal shredding. And then it became really uncool in the 90s. So we shied away from it. Yeah. And then, so now I've never, there's a few moments in Taking Back Sunday. There's a song called Miami where I get to really, do some shredding. But I usually was not encouraged to do it. And and I wouldn't do it unless I was like, man, you know what? We need a friggin' shredding solo. Okay, we'll do it. So I was getting ready to write vocals on this bridge, and my guitarist just kept saying, I want to hear you play, man. Like, you haven't done that yet this year on any of the songs. So that was what we did. And as you well know, I had just received an amazing thing from you right there.
This.
Yeah, exactly. The Sky Bridge fuzz and boost. Yeah. And I was having a lot of fun with it. And on the Miami solo of Taking Back Sunday, I actually was using the Fuzz Factory.
Yeah.
So I got all my pedals sitting here because I figured they'd come in handy. So the Z-Vex one, I had used that, and I liked that it added like artifacts to it. So you hold a note, it starts and it starts to do other things. And but I already used that trick in my life, so I'll use that sparingly nowadays for noise parts, or it is a tool I still use. But I sort of noticed that the Sky Bridge had a little bit of its own character to it, that if I used it, people were going to hear it and go, what is that pedal he's using? Because, something like, this is the first pedal I ever owned, the Rat Distortion. Yes. And, it just is what it is. It's just dirt, and it doesn't actually play. You can't play with the sound as much. But I really, when you hear the solo to this new song, Attention, you can hear that it starts to, when I hit certain notes and I bend and I push it, there's like a poke, a sound starts to poke out. That's part of what the pedal does.
You sent that to me and you're like, I used your pedal on the solo. I think you can tell. And I was like, I'm not sure what he means. And I listened to it and I was like, oh yes, that sounds so cool.
Cool, man. I'm so glad you like it, because I haven't talked to you since I sent it to you.
Yeah, no, I love the song. Like, the song as a whole is awesome, just from a fan's perspective. But then also that you used my pedal on the song is surreal. I'll say surreal.
No, it's cool because I started out on this YouTube journey and I didn't really know. I guess when I was 10 years ago, when the internet wasn't as social as it is now, like say when I was in Taking Back Sunday in 2004, I wasn't interacting with everyone in the world, and so if you had made this pedal back then, it would be hard for me to find out about it. But the way things go, like I noticed once in a while you would tag my old band Breaking Pangea on some of your demos, pedal demos, and I was like, who's this guy? This is cool, man. This is a cool channel. And so we wind up kind of getting to know each other, to the point where when we first got on the call today, you were like, oh, we've never actually spoken. And I thought, no, this is my guy Eric that I watch all the time. I know him,
Yeah. It's wild. And that's one thing that I like about YouTube, and kind of another reason why I was pumped to see you on it. It's like you get those connections with all the people that you wouldn't talk to.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, that's why it's worked out for me, because I always felt like when I left Taking Back Sunday, a lot of people didn't know me back then because I wasn't the lead singer. So, but my friends were always like, what are you going to do next? And, I just felt like, man, it sucks. I didn't really get to know our fans back then. But now I'm actually doing it for the first time. I'm showing more of my personality, and I, in a way that I couldn't have if I wanted to before. So it's been a really good year. I mean, some of us have had rebirths during COVID. Obviously a lot of people have had a hard time, but I was able to bear down and get through it. But at the same time, I'm sort of reinventing what I'm doing, and I can't say it's success already, but it's been fun either way, So,
it's growing, so like any growth is a success.
That's what I'm saying, especially a growth during COVID,
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to take too much of your time. I just want to thank you so much. And before we wrap it up here, to the watchers, where can they find you? Where can they interact with you?
The best place is the Color Fred YouTube channel. Go subscribe there. And I'm always on there I do a lot of premieres where I'm on there texting, messaging with you guys on the comments. And I also, every Sunday, I do a live stream at 9 a.m. Eastern. It's a bit early for you West Coasters, but 10 a.m. Every Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern, New York time. pretty much every week I get on, I play acoustic for about an hour, and I play music from all the bands that I've played in. And yeah, I'm just having fun, you know, putting out as much music as possible, and hopefully get out and play live by the end of the year with the Color Fred.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Real quick, where can people find the new songs and all the songs that you've released over this year?
So all our songs would be streaming everywhere. There's a playlist on the YouTube channel because all the songs go up on YouTube, but they're also on Spotify. On the Color Fred Spotify, there is a playlist of all the newest songs because I've been putting out music with that since '07. So but I took a break. So this whole new batch is about 8 up there right now that are in a playlist called, you know, new songs. And any of the streaming services you have, Apple Music, Amazon, it's on all of them. So
it's everywhere.
Yeah. I try to get myself out there as much as I can. But to be honest, the word of mouth has been the best thing for me because we're not with a label. Mm-hmm. We're very DIY, and it's been better that way because I feel like I'm getting to know the people that listen to us, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Awesome, dude. Well, thank you so much for the time.
Yeah, my pleasure, Eric. I'll talk to you soon, man.
Yeah. So if you made it to the end of this video, I want to say thank you for subscribing, watching the videos, commenting. Again, let me know in the comments below what musician you would love to interview. And, you know, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying safe. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you in the next video.